In the mid-1900s, the Ourang Medan was sailing somewhere around the Marshall Islands. The fate of the ship and its crew would set off one of the most bizarre and frightening maritime mysteries ever recorded. It has endured to this day, with video game developer Supermassive Games set to release the Man of Medan in late 2019. The game would tell the tale of a group of tourists who come upon a ghost ship and make the fateful decision to explore it. Ourang could be translated as man in Indonesian, with Medan being a city on the island of Sumatra, hence the name of the game. As the legend goes, sometime in the 1940s, 2 American ships picked up a disturbing Morse Code transmission. The messages were coming from a man who identified himself as the radio operator on the Ourang Medan. The first message said, "S.O.S. from Ourang Medan. We float. All officers, including the captain, dead in chartroom and on bridge. Probably whole of crew dead." What followed was a series of gibberish dots and dashes before one last message came through, presumably the final words of the radio operator: "I die." After that, only silence. When the Ourang Medan was discovered, it was drifting aimlessly with no apparent damage. When rescue parties boarded the ship, they were met with a sight that chilled them to the bone. The bodies of the crew, including a dog, were scattered everywhere. The limbs of the deceased were twisted, and their faces were frozen in wide-eyed terror. Besides that, the bodies didn't exhibit any outward wounds or other evidence that would explain what happened. They had simply died, suddenly and horribly. Theories of what killed the crew on the Ourang Medan include the accidental exposure to some kind of toxic cargo the ship was hauling, perhaps cyanide or even a nerve agent. Another possible explanation was the sudden release of carbon monoxide that overwhelmed the crew. Of course, there are paranormal theories as well, such as evil spirits or aliens. We will never know the truth. When the Ourang Medan was being towed back to shore, the ship suddenly caught fire and sank, taking her secrets to the bottom of the sea. At least, that's the story. Though the tale was published in several newspapers, even the American CIA is said to have inquired about the ship. Efforts to find a record of the Ourang Medan proved in vain. At least one of the ships that was said to have taken part in the rescue effort had no record of the incident in its logs. So, is the story of the Ourang Medan a hoax? One of those tall tales from the sea? The newspaper reports do seem to lend it some credibility. If the story is true, then what happened to all of the evidence? I'm not a conspiracy guy, but, just saying. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.